afternoon. This is John Apodaca from Daddy-O's Martinis and Cocktail Television, coming to you from Santa Monica, California at Apodaca del Piccolo restaurant. Today I'm going to be interviewing Daniel Kelley. He's with International Beverage Company, and we're going to be talking about one of his products here called Caorunn Gin. Say hi, Daniel.
Hi everybody. So Caorunn Gin, it's a Scottish small batch gin produced at a working Scotch distillery in the Speyside region. And it is a traditional London dry style gin that is infused with an extra 5 Celtic botanicals, which are rowanberry, bog myrtle, heather, dandelion, and cool blush apple.
You told me earlier that this gin was made in Scotland, right?
Yes, it is. It's produced at a working Scotch distillery. It's the Balmanac Distillery. It's one of 5 that we own, and it's actually the only gin that is produced at a working Scotch distillery. So we make the spirit there, and we also do the infusion there, which is done in a traditional copper chamber. There's actually only 3 of them that were ever produced, and they were actually made in the U.S. We bought 2 of them and shipped them over to Scotland. So it's a very traditional style of the infusion, where we take a 5-time distilled spirit, neutral grain spirit, and then we actually distill it another time through the botanicals, which are laid out inside this copper chamber.
It looks like you brought some of the botanicals with you besides what's in here, right?
Right. So these are the 5 Celtic botanicals that are unique to Caorunn. And these actually grow on the hillside outside of the distillery, so we're taking them naturally from their natural environment and bringing them in, drying them, and then infusing through. Rowanberry is probably the key botanical in Caorunn. It has the name is actually rowanberry. Caorunn is Gaelic for rowanberry. So, and if you cut a tree, a rowanberry tree is actually this shape, 5 Celtic botanicals, so it all ties together. So rowanberry is kind of like key, obviously, and then the cool blush apple is probably the lead botanical as far as flavor goes. Plus, like, it adds a little bit of sugar, so it sweetens up the spirit a little bit. Again, a natural. We've got apple trees growing outside the distillery. Heather is very, very traditional Scottish thing. It's on every hillside in Scotland, and it adds a beautiful kind of floral note. And then bog myrtle is again something that most people wouldn't even know. It's actually similar to an oregano kind of on the nose, so that adds kind of an herbal aspect to it. And then dandelion, which we all know, is again a little bit floral. This is dried, but it's going to be floral and add kind of a nice floral. I don't know how to put it.
Floral notes.
So that's the five botanicals that are on top of the 6 traditional London dry botanicals.
How does this compare with other gins that are out there, like say a Bombay Sapphire or Plymouth gin?
So, well, it's going to be again softer, very much lower on the juniper, and it's got the 5 extra botanicals, so it's going to be a little bit more floral, and it's also a little bit sweet, which you get from the apple. There's no sugar added, which is it's kind of a no-no to be in the London dry category. So there's no sugar added, but you get sugars off of the apple in particular. So, I mean, it's very approachable. It's not as sweet as, say, a Hendrix, but it is a little bit sweeter than a Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah.
And really, kind of more key than that, I think, is its layer on the juniper.
And it goes down very smooth.
Yeah, very smooth. It makes for an excellent martini. I've got there's a martini called 50-50, which is half gin and half vermouth, which is phenomenal.
That's actually a traditional martini.
Yeah, that's a traditional. And for me, again, I'm not a juniper fan, so those really strong juniper gins I steer away from, just because that taste to me is too overpowering. So it doesn't really allow the rest of the spirit or the rest of the ingredients in a cocktail to come through. So I for one truly love this gin, and I think it's something that as it gets into people's mouths, it's going to grow quickly because it is so approachable.
Good. And now we're going to have Greg Bryson, one of my favorite bartenders, make us a 50-50 martini.
Yeah, let's do it. Use our Caorunn here. And we're just gonna wanna, you see it already, it starts to melt. We just wanna dilute the ice. Because that water content, we're not afraid of the water content. We actually want that water to get into the drink.
Does that help balance it out?
It balances out immensely. Like, you want that water. I've even heard some, you know, there's different opinions on this. Some people I've heard are splashing in some water just to dilute it a little more, because this is so cold and some ice is so cold, and depending on the temperature of the room, it gets really intense on how much dilution you're trying to achieve. I just kind of watch my wash level here, and you can see that it starts to rise. You can see there's no bubbles. Yeah, it's got a beautiful color. These cocktail glasses are actually way too big, so that's not going to really fit. I have to split it up for you guys in little tiny glasses.
Well, traditional martinis were only 3 ounces.
They were 3-ounce glasses.
Which I happen to have vintage 3-ounce glasses.
Really?
At home.
I should have brought them.
Yeah, from the Thin Man series.
We're going to go and give that a little lemon. Get those oils out. I don't like to rub it on the glass per se, because I don't want to force my guests to put their lips on the oils, which is just opinion. I just like to get it on the surface of the drink itself, and then you can just get it on the aroma of the drink. I'll let John test this out. I know you're excited for that.
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. So. Oh, it smells good.
Yeah.
Very lemony. Ah, this is excellent. We all have to try some. You know, where can consumers go to buy this?
Well, all fine spirit retailers around Southern California are carrying the brand. It's not in any chains or anything like that, because it is still relatively new and really focused into the restaurants and mixology community. So all of your top mixology bars and, of course, fine spirit retailers, you can go to www.caorunngin.com, which is CAORUNN, or www.interbevgroup.com, which is our home website, which will always guide you towards stores in your local area. But again, you'll find it in your local bar. That's the best place to taste it and really experience some of the classic cocktails and some of the creative people that are out there working with the brand right now, such as Greg, who I'd like to take a special opportunity to say thank you to.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Salute.